You betcha.
Well, shoes aren't a requisite for this next outdoor activity, but common sense certainly is. Take a look at the wrong way to jump on a trampoline.
Oh my God. Oh. No animals were harmed in the filming of the
that was
there.
Wow.
You know,
that's why trampolines can be so dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, in 2008, 104,000 children and adults were injured jumping on trampolines. So in the interest of promoting safety, we sent our own tramp champ, Dr. Jim, who he went to Swinging Things in Mission Viejo, California. He's going to learn from the experts and teach us.
We have lots of great times playing in the backyard. Trampolines can be a lot of fun, but as you just saw in that other video, there's some precautions you got to take to make sure you're safe. I'm here with Swings and Things owner Gordy. Good to see you.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for coming.
So this is an interesting entrance here.
You don't want to purchase a trampoline that has just a roll-up or a zipper type of entrance, because that's how kids can either fall out or get pushed out.
Yeah, they're going to forget to close it.
Exactly.
You know, they go. But this is nice. If they fall against it, it's closed.
Much better way to go.
So this ladder is great for the older ones to get in and out, right?
Right, but you don't want to have little ones out there without adult supervision.
That's a good point. When it comes to the net enclosure, you got to make sure it's installed correctly.
Exactly. You don't want to have places where it is unsecured. You want to make sure it's tied properly all the way around.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Nobody's going to fall through there now.
Don't set up trampolines on an uneven surface.
These springs can be really dangerous. They're really, really sharp. They can really hurt your child.
That's right. Don't buy a trampoline unless it has a set of quality protective pads.
Don't let more than one person bounce at a time. Big groups are unsafe. Trampolines can be a lot of fun, but you got to make sure you use them properly, otherwise they can be pretty dangerous. So follow all these tips. Gordy, thanks a lot for showing me all these things.
You're welcome.
Any last tips?
Yeah, one last one. Don't drink and jump.
Good one.
People, be safe out there on your trampolines. Coming up, would you know what to do if you smelled a gas leak in your own home? We're going to find out next. Plus, before you use that ladder, even your indoor step stool, make sure you know what you're doing. All that and more coming up next.
Hey doctors, today I'm going to give you some useful tips on what not to do on ladders of all different sizes. Whoa! Oh! Oh! Okay, just kidding.
Winter gives us all kinds of opportunities to use a ladder, whether it's clearing the leaves or changing light bulbs. It is very easy to make a mistake.
Accident? There's no accident. The company should have replaced that ladder years ago. I knew I shouldn't have reached over like that. And why isn't there a strict policy about two people doing a job like this?
Well, that PSA is from the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board in Ontario, Canada, but the truth is almost all ladder injuries happen around the house. We asked Eric Stromer, he's the host of HGTV's Over Your Head, to show us the right steps to take.
Hey doctors, today I'm going to give you some useful tips on what not to do on ladders of all different sizes. Now, whenever you're using a tall ladder, you want to employ the 4-to-1 rule. So for every 4 feet of ladder, you want to be out from the surface it's leaning against 1 foot. Now, keep in mind, whenever you're ascending or descending a ladder, it's imperative that you face the ladder and that you have both hands on the rungs in front of you. You never want to come up or down a ladder facing outward. It's not safe because you don't have a place to hold on to. Now, keep in mind, when you're climbing up to the top of a ladder, you don't want to go above the manufacturer's recommendation for safety. Generally, that's 3 rungs. Nothing above this step right here. Now, another thing to keep in mind when climbing a ladder is you want to have your torso centered on either side of the ladder. For example, if you're out past the right plane of the ladder and you're reaching too far, overextending, that's where falls occur. Now, whenever you're climbing up a ladder and getting onto a secondary surface like this, you want to make sure the ladder's at least 3 feet above that surface for safety, so you have something to hold on to. Rungs usually on a ladder are about 12 inches apart. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, we're good to go. And one last point, never leave an erected ladder unattended.
Dad, can you help me down?
Oh, yeah, come on down. See, I'm attending him. Follow these safe, simple ladder tips, and you'll probably be asked to do chores around the house for the rest of your marriage.
Hey, honey! Finished with the gutters yet?
Coming, dear!
And here he is to help us with more around-the-house advice about fixing things we should not try at home. Welcome, Eric Stromer.
Thank you very much, guys. How are you?
Well, we're glad you could come join us and give us
Thanks.
some more tips
Absolutely.
before you get home and probably do some more
Well,
projects.
I've got chores to do when I get home, absolutely.
Make it look easy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, ladder safety obviously is obvious from the video that you saw, so just be careful. Also, keep in mind footwear. We didn't talk about footwear. Footwear like these, put your foot up like that. This is not a good shoe to wear on a ladder. Something more like a work boot or a gym shoe would be appropriate, something that can actually grip the rung of the ladder. So that's the most important thing. And definitely don't do something that's out of your reach in terms of skill set and level. If it's too overwhelming, then maybe hire a professional, okay?
Thank you, sir. And Eric, we've got another email if you wouldn't mind helping us with it. It's from a woman named Jennifer in Redwood City, and she writes, "Dear doctors, I recently moved to California, and I've heard that you're not supposed to use candles after an earthquake. Is this true, and if so, why?" Literally, the first week I was out here for our first season, remember? We were over in the offices, and the ground started shaking, and it was an earthquake. Yeah. And I was a newbie. I had no idea what to do. Right. And if the lights had gone out, I probably would have reached for a candle.
Yeah, it's a really good point, and a good question, by the way. Basically, when you have natural gas or propane and it comes undone in terms of pipes that break away in terms of a shaking situation, an earthquake, or some kind of problem where there's an accident with the house, definitely the last thing you want to do, look at this and never think of this again if there's a disaster. Do not use fire. Fire and gas create explosion, which ultimately, as you know, is a disaster in itself. The best thing to have, a flashlight. And also, for any kind of earthquake preparedness, you want spare water, obviously, some extra food. And you guys would be privy to the information with a medical kit. You might want to tell them what to have in that situation also. But that's it, no fire, okay? Promise, everybody raise your right hand. State your name. I. Your name?
Travis.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, no fire. No fire with gas.
No fire.
Okay, good.
Next earthquake, don't start crying, Travis.
We'll be ready.
And,
flashlight.
you know, and there's a way to smell gas in the home, right?
Absolutely. And this little pamphlet that you guys all have on your seats or underneath by Franklin Press actually has a scratch and sniff device, unlike the ones in the magazines that have the bad perfume. This is the beautiful smell of gas. Give it a smell. And it's a great tip, too, to have your kids get familiar with this smell. That is, because natural gas and propane do not have a natural odor at all. It's odorless. So they add this when they put it in the tank. So you need to know what this smells like.
Kind of smells like your dressing room a little bit, Travis.
Well, let me ask you, couldn't they have added a better smell?
I always thought the same thing, like, you know, like lavender or something.
Right.
Why do we have to have this smell? But that's what it is. It's universalized. Everybody should understand what this is. Teach your kids, obviously,
So if you smell
when they
that,
smell that.
call the gas company
Absolutely.
and get out of the house.
Don't try and fix it yourself. Let the professionals take care of it, okay?
Eric, thank you so
You
much
bet.
for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
guys.
Coming up, do-it-yourself dental procedures and at-home chemical peels. What you need to know before you hurt yourself or somebody you love. That's next.
Tomorrow.
Tips that can save you at least $8,000 a year on your health.
Inexpensive, healthy meals.
You can feed a family of 5 for a little over $1.
Grocery bills cut in half.
$50 can get you this, or you spent the same amount of money.
Free workouts.
Could burn an extra 270 calories a day. That's 28 pounds in a year.
And expensive spa treatments you can do at home with our mommy correspondent, Brooke Burke. Tomorrow And then on Friday, every child will get this. But did you know it can be deadly?
For parents out there, these are some of the symptoms you got to watch for.
Then, do you know why red meat goes with red wine, white fish with white wine? We'll tell you.
I'm going to give you guys the explanation.
And the best kept secret for great skin, and it's free. All new Friday.
Anytime, any day, you don't need an appointment to see the doctor.
Just log on to Facebook or Twitter and add the doctors to your list of friends.
That's when it all starts. Today we've been talking about things you should not try at home, and I hope this next scenario does not apply to you. Joining us is dentist Jamie Sands from Studio City, California, to give you some much-needed advice if you've done this sort of thing at home. So, Dr. Sands, welcome.
Oh, hi, Travis.
What's wrong with trying to use these tools on your own at home?
For the layman, the tissue around the teeth is really fragile, and you can damage irreversibly that tissue. I mean, they're sharp and they're dangerous, and you know, when we use them, we stabilize our hands. Are you using a fulcrum? Are you keeping your hands stable? You just don't know how to use it. And you're chipping
Chip your teeth. You
you take away the enamel, but the soft tissue could really get damaged.
I actually had a patient come into the ER the other day, and he had bought this little mix that you put over the tooth if you have a cavity.
What?
And I have no idea where it came from, but I said, you don't want to do that at home. And I think that just applies to all of these things. And we're even going to talk about whitening your teeth at home. We have